You've reached call in Mockery.
I'll call you back.
This is Colin Mockery. This is the show where we tell it like it is.
Yes, and unfortunately, of course, we did have to. We're not usually we tape these episodes.
Yeah, they're usually pre-taped.
No. Usually we do them live on Wednesdays,
right?
As they come out. We tape them live.
Yes,
but this time we had to tape it on Monday.
Yeah.
The Monday before, of course.
Yes. What?
Someone very important did, in fact, we're assuming, get arrested.
Oh, yes.
So I guess maybe we should just spend this whole episode talking about, we don't know, obviously, but the word on the street is someone is going to be arrested tomorrow. Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we're going to, I guess we're just going to have a little fun with that.
I can't believe the fact that it's happening tomorrow, and the reason that we're not taping it live is because of the riots that are going to be happening.
Yeah.
The uprising. So this is just a little, it's for us, it's kind of like knowing the future is going to happen. It's like if you've ever seen that movie, what's it, Back to the Future?
Brought to the Future?
It's kind of like Brought to the Future.
Yes.
We have the Sports Illustrated that says the Wasps are going to win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And you've got that little golden nugget in your back pocket, right?
Yes.
So it's like, I'm going to exploit this. This is going to be a little time capsule where we're saying, what do we think is going to happen?
What do we do?
People are going to look back on this episode of Colin Mockery and say, boys, today is your Independence Day. Or whatever it is. I don't know that stuff about the future.
Well, God,
I'm not a psychic. I'm not a sidekick, am I?
No.
Thank you. I'm a co-host.
No. That I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
Oh, this was the big lead up.
No. Oh, God.
Yeah,
anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, Landon told me this beforehand. I really want him to say this.
Okay. She sells by the seashore.
You can't do that poem anymore. You can't do that poem anymore.
No. If there's anything to learn from Chris Rock's special, it's that you can't do the he sells, she sells by the seashore poem anymore.
Now I got to do they sell, they sells
them
by the they
shores.
shore. You ruined my childhood.
There you're going to take away. First, you're going to take away the Little Mermaid, whom I don't care about. When you took away the Little Mermaid, whom I cared about, first I said nothing. Then
you came for.
Who else did they ruin?
And then next.
Then you came for my Splash Mountain, whom I always loved the story of, and I said nothing. Now you're coming for my childhood poems.
And I have to say something.
They sell them.
They sell they shells by the they shore. I was thinking, last night before I fell asleep.
They took our Pinocchio as well.
Oh, yeah. They made
Pinocchio was made by Disney, and now you're making them real.
Disney did it funny and cute. Then they did it again weird with Tom Hanks. And then some strange man from a foreign land came in, and he took all of our jobs, and he made Pinocchio into a freakazoid who is mean and like sexual or something.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
And now he has an EGOT.
So, yeah, okay. So we're just going to keep doing that then?
We're going to let that happen?
Oh, okay.
I thought the country's been fine for 300 years, but I guess that's okay. You get an EGOT for making Pinocchio dirty. He's like, and she's like, keep lying to me. He's like, doop, doop.
And then you're watching and you're like, I wish it was that easy.
This is
You're watching it and saying that.
This is Seth Rogen doing Mario.
I heard. And this is us.
Have you guys been watching? It's like kind of like a million little pieces, but actually based.
Okay, so it's Wednesday, April 26th, and we're coming at you with some knowledge and some facts.
Yeah.
Mostly that wasp is the plural of wasp.
Yeah.
Is that what's true?
Yes. You've got. I'm reading an article here. Let me just pull this up really quick. Okay. I don't have the article.
Okay.
But yeah, wasp. That's why it's Ant-Man and the Wasp. If you think about that, to put it in people's brains. This is the thing with kids now. And I know this episode, you're just like, you're really going off on Gen Xers.
Well, we have to.
Which is what little kids are, right? They're like, if their teacher was to say, what's a wasp? They'd say, Evangeline Lilly? No, the animal. And they're like, the animal? Isn't that John Cena's character from, blah, 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 blah. All these things that they're making now, right? Black Stratum. Black Stratum was supposed to be in the end of Shazam 2. And he said no. Okay? So we already are living in that.
Black Adam was going to be in the end of Shazam 2, and
Yes.
you said no, and I said nothing.
I said nothing. And now we're in the worst timeline. Should we talk about something that everyone can relate to?
Sure.
What'd you think of the latest?
Wait, why start now? But sure.
What'd you think of the latest SNL? Me neither.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Didn't see it. I had to take a break.
Ice. 4 kids go into the water. 3 kids come out. Ice cream man takes a break.
That's from Master of Disguise, when Dana Carvey is the Jaws guy.
Yeah. Well, and I saw the Woody Harrelson monologue where he was like, so you're telling me the COVID's real or fake? Interesting. I've never heard that one before. I don't know. He did some weird thing.
You know what was weird? When we have a local movie theater in town that I saw today, someone said is nonprofit. Well, that can't be true, because they have everyone working at this movie theater.
No, you don't. I've come to realize Joey is not really sure how the world works.
I just think, well, okay, so you work at a place, right? You work
Yeah.
at a place.
I do.
You make a profit.
Well, I do, but I give it all to charity.
No, you don't, because you have to pay for your house.
Well, that's
So
a
they
tax
say this
write-off
movie
'cause it's
theater is
also my office.
nonprofit. They say this movie theater is nonprofit.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? There's nothing nonprofit about how much popcorn they're selling, right? Someone's got to sell all that popcorn,
That's true.
and they're making a what?
A what?
What are they making?
I'm
And don't say popcorn.
gonna say like a bunch of
They're
popcorn.
making a profit.
Popcorn.
Anyway, so we go to this theater, and this is right, and on the heels of Woody Harrelson saying, think about a world, I had this crazy dream, a world in which a totalitarian technocratic government steps on your toes and tells you it feels good. And they give you a jab. Can we stop calling that? Even people that like the shot are calling it the jab. It's a shot.
Yeah.
I had to go get a jab today. What are you talking about? You think I don't know how the world works?
Yeah.
So, on the heels of this, Woody Harrelson is against the safety of our children. We go to this movie at a non-profit theater. Again, eye roll. And guess who pops up on screen?
Hi, everybody.
Hey, it's me, Woody Harrelson. I just want to say thank you so much for going to movies in the theater. I think it's important. And then everyone's sitting there going, I'm so torn right now. Why? A, because of what he said last night, but B, because I love cinema. And I love that he loves cinema.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've watched his scene in True Detective, the one scene.
Yeah. He's great in that
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
I really like the way he is in that scene.
He's got glasses on, or maybe he doesn't.
Well, that's the genius of his craft. He blends in.
He blends in. You can barely pay attention to him.
It's it's almost, frankly, it's almost like I wish he wasn't in it.
If I could, it's one of those roles where you
Distracted.
just, it's so much you're like, not only am I in it, like I want to be in his role.
Yeah.
You're like, I wish I was him because he's such a good actor. in
Yeah,
that
just
scene.
because he's of his craft, his ability to sit and enjoy himself. So there's our hunk on Woody Harrelson.
And he's such good friends with Willie Nelson. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. Famously, they're besties.
Mm-hmm.
No, so
Sorry, I don't know why, but for some reason I got to take my coat off now.
SNL. No, I haven't really watched. I watched some of the Pedro Pascal episode. That one was good from what I saw. Mm-hmm. What's interesting? There was something interesting about it, but actually this was so long ago that I forget what it was. I was gonna just start the sentence and assume that my brain would connect the dots, but that lately, the last 3 years or so, has not been happening for me. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to just stop talking now.
I think that the whole... Would you get... So if the whole world...
Hole. A donut hole. Let's put her in the middle of a donut.
I just thought of... I almost cut that scene, but when he came in, what's his name? Craig Kilborn, to do that scene.
Yes.
When Mr. Craig Kilborn came in, Mr. Double, he said, you got to keep that scene in. I'm going to kill this. And he did. He did. He killed it. Not actually. He's not the killer in the movie. God, stop talking. Should we talk
That's
about...
right, because you saw me with an iPhone.
I had an iPhone, and if you have an Android phone, that makes you a bad guy. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed this in Knives Out 2. Everyone uses one or the other.
Yeah.
And I was so fixated on it because of this little Easter egg I knew. He throws an iPad at someone, and I go, that guy's getting rid of Apple, and he's giving Apple to someone. And now that guy has Apple, which means he can't be the killer. And so there's all this technocratic hoodoo going on in my head about...
It's giving Apple.
And I said, I wish I didn't know that little part about Knives Out. That only bad guys use Android. Only bad guys Google. Isn't that true, Sergio? Sergio Google. He's trying to give life. Their slogan used to be, don't be evil. Now you know what it is. Well, it's not being evil. It's being evil now more than it was before. We love farmers. We really do.
By the way, who is getting arrested tomorrow?
I think Donald Trump Jr.
So we really shouldn't be doing his voice.
Yes, sorry. I didn't mean to do Donald Trump Jr. Donald Trump Jr., if you're watching this, and make this one of the YouTube reels. That gets a lot of views.
Yeah.
Donald Trump Jr., if you're watching this, I forgive you. You know why? Because life's too short to hate our enemies. And put some music behind it.
Okay.
Landon's taking notes. What are you looking at? Woody Harrelson's scene. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Life's too short. Here's the thing about life, and make this the YouTube reel. Life is too short to hate our enemies, and it's too short to not go back and revisit the things we love. That's why, one, I say I'm sorry to Donald Trump Jr. We should love our enemies, because even if we disagree with them, we need to live in a better world. And two, I go back and revisit the things I love all the time, like that Woody Harrelson scene from True Detective, where he's such a good actor. Those are the two most important things that I'm going to leave my children in this life. I got one of those, when they give you get like cellular, you're like, this was an actual film frame from Star Wars.
Yeah.
I have one of the Woody Harrelson scene from True Detective that I'm going to give my children. And I've got a photo signed from Donald Trump Jr. that says, Joey, we may not see things eye to eye, but I love you.
Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple, Whopper, Flame Grill taste with perfect toppers. I rule this day. BK Stackers, Bun Burger Cheese, Burger Cheese, Burger Cheese, Burger Cheese, Burger Cheese, Burger Cheese, Bacon, Burger Cheese. We can do this all day. Big game, we skip the big game cause the BK memes have been insane. Y'all really do it better than we do, so we took the night off to give this song to you. You rule your season today at BK. Have it your way. You rule.
My point is, why are we trying to get songs made for companies when people are already doing the most genius songs out there?
Eating yogurt.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Okay. I for weeks now I've had that stuck in my head.
The whole thing?
No, just actually really just the part where it's like at BK, have it your way. Your way.
I have no idea what that was.
Really?
This is the first time I've heard it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's always funny because
It's always funny in Philadelphia.
yeah. The full song I've never heard, but the first part where it's like chicken whopper whopper chicken dicker wicker flicker. It's always comes on after like a funny, like a commercial that's serious or something. like a show will have like, and that's when whatever someone died of something bad, and it's like Whopper, Whopper, Burger, Whopper, Chicken, Whopper, Dinger, Doctor. That's just funny. And then by the end of the commercial, it goes at BK, have it your way. And that's stuck in my head. So my point is your Shields song sucks.
No! You think because I'm trying to... Burger King... they're not gonna...
Too complex. You got to pare it down.
Yeah. It does suck because there's been so many new movies I've been watching that when it goes to that retcon earlier, what I said, when it goes to that commercial that I've seen where I'm watching a movie and the guy's like, I'm going to Russia and I'm going to get Tetris and bring it back to the United States. Whopper, Whopper, Chicken Whopper. Or there's like, what are you going to call it? And he's like, the Air Jordan. Whopper, Whopper, Chicken Whopper. Or what is this thing? They're calling them crackberries. Blackberry. Whopper, Whopper, Chicken Whopper. My point is, it's the kind of this year's the year of the movies where someone made something,
A thing, yeah.
and I guess the story is as it was happening. They're probably in their heads going, someday this is going to be a god dang movie.
You forgot my favorite one, which is someone's like, I like flicking little things and making my balls go up and down. Wait a minute. Do your balls hit things that then make noise and make lights go off? Yeah, of course. Pinball.
Well, you missed the part where I don't give a shit.
At BK, have it your way.
Someone made something. We have these every few years and we love it. Steve Jobs made the phone. We got 4 of those movies, right? But now it's like, you got Tetris. And I laughed the first time I saw it. First time I saw that ad come up, I said, this cannot be real. Sometimes I will get tricked by YouTube trailers.
Sure.
And I said, no, Apple, you're going to do this. And yes, I'm going to watch it. Then I get, what's it called? Just Nike? What's the movie called? Nike Shoe Store? Then I got Air.
It's called Air.
I'm going to err on the side of caution and I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Probably good. Then you've got Blackberry.
Yeah. I just want to see Glenn Howerton with a little bald head.
Oh my gosh. Every time I see him, I said, Paul Scheer? And I said, I gotta. And this. Well, I guess this is my point. The main point of this episode. Finally, we get to it. If we cannot have someone doing the whale, right? Because he is Brendan Fraser. We cannot have this man who has a full head of hair doing the guy that runs BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Get someone that is, what do they call it? I'm sorry because my electric meatball is malfunctioning. But I think they call it follically impaired.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know.
Sorry, my electric meatball is malfunctioning. Trying to think of the term.
What?
Sorry. God, this cable's it's distracting me. I think my electric meatball is just malfunctioning a little bit.
Hey, what? What are you talking about?
My electric meatball is malfunctioning.
Did you watch anything?
Yeah, I watched the Mandalorian. You see this?
Yeah, I think we. Oh,
The new one.
The new one.
The one where they kind of go a little off the beaten path.
Should we talk about it?
The beaten path is kind of what I take whenever I watch this astounding scene with Woody Harrelson in True Detective. Do we talk about this? We'll touch on it briefly. People like Star Wars. And if you
Touch on it briefly is what happens when I just you get it.
So you've got Glasses Magoo and you've got From the Past, right? In Mandalorian.
Yes, from season 1 I think was the last time we saw the guy, Dr. Pershing, who was helping he was helping Mr. Vladok try to do some type of, we know he's involved with cloning, some type of cloning of our fair Grogu. My fair Grogu. So he's coming back and we're following him. And this is probably my least favorite episode ever.
Wow, really?
Something about the guy, and it sucks because the guy posted on the internet that like his son was an extra, and
That does suck.
and he's a nepo baby, so that does suck. No, he posted this really sweet story about how he was like tucking him into bed after that day of shooting, and he was like, "Daddy, Star Wars is real. I was on Coruscant today." And he, with a tear in his eye, said, "Yeah, buddy, yeah, you were." And it just made me feel so happy for this man to have that experience with his son. However, I think he's not good.
I mean, I'll say this also coming from someone whose one of his parents told him that the Truman Show was real. That's going to come back to bite you on the ass because that kid's head is going to be screwed up. I mean, look at me.
Yeah.
My entire worldview was just like, they did this to a person. Like this is why Jim Carrey is famous. Like I didn't know this was his backstory because I knew Jim Carrey.
Sure. I was
like,
going to say.
this is why he's a like
that didn't tip you off.
Of course he's an actor because his whole life has been a lie.
Yeah.
I was like 4 or 5.
14 or 15.
Well, yeah, I think that's what I meant to say. It was just my electric meatball is malfunctioning. I don't feel good.
You don't look good. So I don't think he's.
I don't know if he was a bad actor.
I couldn't tell if he's a bad actor or he's like doing that on purpose. You know?
I mean, there's a lot of bad actors in this world now, right?
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell if I was like, is the direction bad? Because they're like, you're timid.
Yeah.
You have to be scared. But every single thing someone said to him, they're like, you want a biscuit? And he's like,
that's the thing. It was
biscuit.
just.
And it's like, you worked for the Empire.
Yeah.
Were you like that there too? Because I'll tell you what, I would have given you the old chokehold.
Harder, sir. Harder.
I think also he looks like someone that we know, and I'll say it off air, I guess. But and that made me annoyed the whole time.
Okay, I can't wait to hear this.
I just, as soon as he came on screen, I was like, I don't remember him looking exactly like this person that I want to punch.
Because I think I agree with you. And if you're listening to this show, guess what? You're on the list.
Yeah.
If you think you look like this person,
Could be
I'm
you.
not going to say it's not you. If you're listening and you think it's you, it's not, because it's not someone that would look. No, I'm just going to say, if you even remotely think, even if you haven't seen the show, now you're probably just like, oh my
you're
God.
like, God.
I haven't watched The Mandalorian. I don't give two craps about Star Wars.
Yeah.
I thought it was an interesting concept. I see a lot of people online fighting over the episode. It was too long. And then you've got, of course, for every person that's saying, I didn't like this episode, you've got someone that is going, I want my Star Wars to be laser blast all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, it can be in the middle. Andor is perfect.
That's the trouble. I think they were trying to do Andor, and that's just not what, I don't think they're equipped to do that.
But I'm also not as short-sighted as you. Sorry, I'm electric meatballs malfunctioning.
By the way, I know that it's setting up huge things to be touched on later.
Yes, and by you, I mean people online.
Yeah.
I mean, I did mean you also.
No, I know.
But everyone's like, what is this? Why? It's like, what do you mean why?
No,
if
of
you
course.
never watched a TV show,
Of course.
unless you're like our friend who has apparently only ever seen the show Yellowstone, you've seen TV before. And
Yeah.
you understand that, they're setting up because we need to
It's not just
understand
a
who these
random-
characters are.
Yeah.
And I like the idea. The idea to me is great.
Yes, I like the idea.
I like when we get to see, who were these people that worked for the Empire? And we get their little world, like their little lunch group where they drink their like alcoholic milk or whatever.
Yeah. I just think there was no time ever in the episode where I was believing, like I knew exactly what was going to happen the whole time, but it seemed like they were trying to play like, someone might be up to something. I was like, no, I know who it is. You are telling me by showing me exactly
What they're doing.
what they're doing. And I think what we really needed to know from this little excursion was about 5 minutes of content. But
Burning.
I think we could have just intercut what freaking Din and Bo-Katan and Grogu were up to with this. Like how Andor is intercutting 3 or 4 different stories at once. Like any show ever. It just seemed like the pacing was not to my liking. And I'm fine with slowing it down, but the main guy isn't compelling enough for me to want to keep watching. And there was nothing kind of, I like seeing Coruscant. I love all that stuff. I love the mythology being expanded. I love hearing about cloning. People, for some reason, seem to be dumbfounded that they're going to continue with the cloning
Are
stuff.
so mad.
I don't get. They set it up in season 1. That's the whole point of these shows, is to make the original trilogy connect to the sequel trilogy. People are like, so they really are just staying with the sequel trilogy being Palpatine as a clone. Yes. They made the movie. You can't erase that now.
No, you can't unalive that.
Just like the Clone Wars and the Rebels cartoons fleshed out the prequels and gave more life to all of that stuff. That's what these are doing for the sequels. It's fine. If you don't like it, you're whatever. I don't care about you. But why are you confused? Why are you shocked? They've been setting it up since season 1.
And let me say this too.
Okay.
I like that they're doing this.
Yeah.
Because you know that the sequels, the Disney sequels, as we're gonna call them, right?
Yeah.
Landon?
Sure.
Okay. We know that they were also made up. Like to say like, oh, so now you're gonna try to connect them? That's probably the best thing you can do. Because yes, it comes out of nowhere in the last one. It's been ding dong this whole time.
Right.
He's been cloned. That sucks. I know it sucks. Landon likes it. But then,
I don't like
then
it,
give me
but-
the story that leads
Yeah.
to that makes sense.
Of course.
Because I want to see that. It's already there, and they made that up. It's not like that was the original story from the beginning, 1970.
Right.
So I'll watch this. I like the show. I want to see this stuff. I like that the guy's in he's got these little chips, and they're, I guess, destroying them or something.
I like that. I like all of.
I like seeing everything in this world fully realized.
Absolutely. I like everything. I
just don't like every time they talk to this guy, it's like he's got cotton in his ears.
That's what's upsetting.
Hello! The episode's already an hour. Just talk.
That's what was just annoying. I felt the execution wasn't as good as the premise. If you tell me we're going to follow an ex-imp and a little group of ex-imps, and we're going to flesh out the New Republic being kind of a sort of pseudo-fascist regime also because they don't know how to govern properly. We're going to set up that, which is why they eventually fail to thwart the First Order and basically become, erase the great victory of the original trilogy. You're going to give me Coruscant. I love it. I want to see more Coruscant. Here's the tip of a mountain. The only piece of the entire planet that is still open to the air.
But then you give me a guy that I'm supposed to root for that is scared to touch a rock. He's like, what is that? They're like, it's the tip of a mountain. Cool. But also, you know what? I get that it's like, that's cool. I mean, I like it.
It's awesome.
I'm saying for him, it's like, you live in this world.
Yeah.
Why are you acting like you're scared? You've seen rocks.
Yeah.
You know what a mountain is. But he goes up to do his little thing, and then he drops his glow-in-the-dark lick-em stick.
Yeah.
Also, a little too much. Like, put that stuff in there, but you don't have to focus on it. Every time they talk, then they go, well. It's like they look at the camera to be like, pretty cool, interesting. I wonder what that tastes like. Just have the prop.
Yeah.
I'm just mad about the direction of the episode.
Yeah. It was just.
But I loved the story. I like going to see the big ships, and then you go into the big ships. I like that the train go through the air. I'm 12.
Well, I don't know.
I like that there's a big guy on the train, and he keeps looking at him. But it's like, were you in a cage your whole life?
That's what I'm.
The way that it's being played out is weird because I don't want to keep having to see this guy go. Actually, I'm going to make a clone.
Right.
Speed it up.
I think that if you take out half of it, because also we know immediately that she is going to get him to go along with whatever she's doing. We don't need the 20-minute montage of him like kind of, actually, maybe I'll dip my toe back into doing something naughty. I mean, he thinks it's for a good cause. He doesn't know that he's being set up, blah, 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 whatever. It's not compelling enough to show us all of it. So just intercut it with something else. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, there are things in life that you want the scene to like slow down and breathe. Like if I could put a scene at like 0.05% and slow it down and watch it and really get all of it. It'd be like the scene of Woody Harrelson in the show True Detective. This is something I want to do the opposite with, right? Like if I had that little podcast button that says remove silence, I'd be doing that.
Yeah.
So that's my take. I like the show.
Well, that's the other thing too, is like I do get,
and I want to see more stuff like that.
Sure, I'm fine with that. I just wish all the regular episodes are like 20 minutes of the characters we want to see. So it is kind of annoying when you're like, oh, sweet, a 58-minute episode, and it starts awesome with a huge space battle. And they're like, these aren't Imperials, these are somebody else. Ah! And then just to slow down so immediately. I don't know.
How many people they say live on that planet? A trillion?
Coruscant?
Yeah.
As some call it. Or Coruscant?
Uh-huh.
As I call it.
I call it croissant.
Yeah, I don't know.
They said a big number.
Big number. Well, the planet is a city.
Yeah.
The whole planet is a city.
And there's like it's like more than Earth.
Did you watch anything else?
Megan, come out to play.
Oh yeah. We watched Megan too.
I heard that.
Ah.
I watched it this week.
Yeah, we watched.
Did you watch the unrated or the?
Yeah, we
theater
did.
version?
Unrated, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what the big difference is. They said they dropped a few F-bombs, and I was blushing.
Yeah,
There's quite a few F-bombs. Because the original Megan that you probably saw in theaters is PG-13. They
It
don't
was,
allow
huh?
that stuff.
Yeah.
You only get one of those, and it can't be about something you're doing with someone else. Okay? Hey, come here. Hey, it's me. Hey, Beetlejuice. Hey, someone gonna buy our new movie? Hit me. Brad Pitt bought it.
I mean, if you're going to remake it, just hit me up.
So you liked the movie Megan?
I think so.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's like, I want to say it's campy, but it's not. To say it's campy would mean something else in my head. Like, it is kind of supposed to be, I think, funny.
It's
They're
in on the
playing
joke.
with how creepy it is, but it's not so campy. It is still kind of, it's not scary, but they know when they make her sing that you're laughing and like, what is this?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. Is it campy? I guess. But I think of campy as like Camp Sleepaway or, the camp where Michael Myers is, or the camp where Freddy is.
Yeah.
The camp where you find out that.
Well, isn't the old rule that
I guess I'm done talking.
isn't the old rule that camp is not intentional? Like
Yeah.
you can't make something camp.
But people do now.
I know, but
The origin of it, and unless my electric meatball is just like
what are you
malfunctioning, my electric,
What's wrong with you?
you can't hear me when I say that.
I can
Everything
hear
else
you.
I
It
say,
doesn't
you
make
answer
any
me.
Sense.
I'm sorry about what happened to the Christie guy too. That he's in jail now.
yeah.
You thought he knew best. You better hope he knows best in jail. You know what I've heard about jail? They have chili. So
Made in a toilet.
this is my turlet chili. That's awesome.
Now give me 2 smokes.
Camp in films, and this is good for people that you might go, I'm not a big film person. Listen to this. You want to know this. Trivia night. I think camp was sort of like, it's campy. Like, it doesn't know that we're kind of laughing at the movie. It's trying to be silly, but it's kind of low budget. But people now kind of build that into it because I think they can't make a good story. So they go, well, it's kind of ironically bad.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
is
campy.
It is always it's kind of like
But I think the story of this is supposed to be funny
yeah.
and creepy. Were you going to say something? Megan's kind of like her own, like she's going to be the new Sam from Trick or Treat. I feel like you're going to see a lot of Megan stuff at Spirit Halloween soon.
Of course, soon.
Soon. Not today.
Like in a month or so.
Jackhole.
I think, yeah, I mean, first of all, anyone who's like upfront, you kind of have the ironic detachment of like, well, we know it's bad. Yeah, that's pathetic.
That's
Do check
disgusting.
out our YouTube channel, Not Good, Not Bad Productions, and give us a like and a subscribe. But I would say, Megan, I liked it. It was fun. It was funny. Got a couple laughs. I did think it veered in and out of the sort of being the joke and being sincere.
Yeah.
That I couldn't quite get a handle on which way it was wanting to go, and maybe I don't think it knows.
Well, because it's kind of a joke, but then also there's some pretty violent stuff.
There's violent stuff. There's very serious stuff of like
Yeah.
when the girl is opening up to Megan about,
Yeah.
and it's like, wow, that's
And then you've got a whole B plot, which is sort of like almost a sitcom-y or like, I don't know. It's kind of just a comedy B plot with the owner of the company, the owner of the tech company.
Yeah.
That's just trying to impress his boss.
Yeah. And that's just all kind of funny.
Yeah. And that's something that we've seen many times before. But it's like, this is it's a horror movie, but we're focusing on this guy trying to make sure his boss knows this project was his idea, but in a funny way.
The most disturbing of all was, I hate to say it, the dog.
Yeah. Well, that's when you go, oh, this is one of those, because anytime that happens, it's almost like they went too far, where you just feel bad.
Yeah, because the dog did nothing wrong.
No, hashtag the dog did nothing wrong. And then I have to hear the owner looking for their dog.
Yeah.
And you're just sad for them.
And
but meanwhile, Megan's like,
I want to swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier.
I mean, obviously we know Megan is the bad guy. So
What?
I just don't like when they kill animals in the movies.
Yeah.
I know it's been talked about a million times, but God, I just don't, which is something that I forgot to say about Nope all those many years ago when we did we do a Nope review?
no.
But we talked about it on the show.
I
didn't we do
literally
that?
changed I just said no, and I tried to change it to nope when he asked me, do we do a nope review? The simplest thing I could do is just say nope, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, you're an idiot. Something's
not-
wrong with your electric meatball.
What?
What?
My what?
Your electric meatball?
It doesn't make any sense.
What?
Is that a joke? My electric meatball? Is this going back to when they caught me cheating on those tests in school? Is this some sort of inside joke you had with our other lunchroom friends? I took the R out. I call them fiends. That's how I feel about some of these people I went to school with. I say, you say you're my friend, you're actually my fiend. They wrote on my cast lover, and I crossed it out and I changed it to an S. I was like, no, I'm a loser. They're like, what? I said, I'm a loser. You guys think you're my friends? Well, guess what? I'm a loser. Take that. Mm-hmm. They're like, okay.
I wrote lover on your cast, and then you did add an S and just said lovers. Mm-hmm. I was like,
And I smiled at you.
Yeah.
I think it's because when I broke my arm, I hit my head so hard, my electric meatball started malfunctioning.
What are you talking about? Look, no, but back to Nope.
Nope. Back to nope. Leslie Nope.
Has
Has anyone done that?
one of the best things about that movie is it's on a horse ranch, and the whole time you're like, Jesus Christ, they're gonna kill one of these goddamn horses.
It's going to suck a horse up.
And it never does.
Because I think you should know we're going to feel bad. Even though we know Megan is a bad person, you kind of want to be on her side, right?
At that point,
everyone else she kills is annoying.
yeah.
They're like,
Right,
I'm going to take
right.
credit for this invention. They all had it coming. And the dog just bit the little girl because it's a dog.
Well,
Also, she's not bleeding.
Well, it bit the little girl because Megan was coming into its territory, and it was biting Megan, and then the little girl got its collateral damage at that point.
This also goes into what I wanted to talk about next. And I guess we'll do that now. Are we going to rate Megan?
And Allison Williams' character was like, it seemed like she was also didn't like the dog and stuff. It was just like, I don't know, it was like a weird thing for everyone was fine with the dog and worried about all the people, which usually the audience is the opposite. They're like, kill as many people as you want, just don't touch the animals. And it also recently just happened in The Last of Us where they get a horse and you're like, it survives an episode and you're like, oh, thank God. Yeah, they have a horse.
No, we said the same thing because you see the guy, he's going to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And you know it's going to happen.
Yeah. And then it
And
does.
then you just say, why'd they have to do that?
We didn't have to see it that way. Like, it's very I did like after when they do the little inside the episode, they were sure to show how they did it.
It's a fake
It's
horse.
just a huge fake horse. But it's just sad. And if you ever watch Game of Thrones, I urge you to look away when a horse is on screen because you're going to be seeing a lot of dead horses.
Mm-hmm. So
And a lot of other things.
What?
Some stuff you probably would like. Knowing you.
Well, if it's like people getting their electric meatballs just splattered on, with like a mace or whatever.
What do you mean by that?
What a mace? It's like a ball that's got spikes on it.
Yeah, like mine. All right, say what you want to say.
When Megan ended, they thought, well, you like this, you must like Chucky, right?
Of course.
So it started playing the Chucky television show,
The show, yeah.
and I watched it.
You did?
I've watched 3 episodes so far.
Wow.
And I will tell you, as quick as I told the woman with which I live, when I was on episode 3, she came into the room. She goes, "Is this good?" And before she even finished her sentence, I said, "No." Because it's really not. And I don't know why. I'm like, why am I still watching this? It's about middle schoolers. I don't know who it's for because they're all like swearing and doing drugs. And I'm like, what? And they're in middle school. And then they're like kissing. And you're like, this is like if college kids, and I get that they're like, well, it would be kind of funny that a middle schooler has it, and we're seeing, I don't know, kids doing this stuff, and we're seeing bully. It's a lot of bullying stuff, a lot of bullying, but the writing's not great, and none of the acting's good, and they kill a cat early on. That's like the first kill in the show because you see a chunky tuft of hair, and you go, why?
It's Chucky.
But you want, because Chucky's like, hey, come here, kid. He's like, hey, Lexi was bullying you at school. Why don't we take her out back and show her what's what with this big knife? And you're like, Chucky's queening everyone, right? He's like going out. He's getting the people that need to get got, even though you go, that's not good. He shouldn't be killing. But why the cat? Just because the cat didn't like him? The cat didn't like him because he's a talking doll. The doll like looks at it and it's like,
yeah. The animals, they don't like the weird freaks.
no, they don't. And so the animal.
Which is why my dog always barks when Joey comes up to the house.
I will say there's a funny part.
You said a chunky tuft of hair. I think you meant a Chucky tuft of hair.
Sorry, it's just, I don't know. There's been this weird thing with my electric meatball where it just seems to be malfunctioning.
Shut up!
What? I didn't
Say it again. I dare you.
Chucky. I watched Chucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
I was just missing the last, whatever the last section of what I said is. I'm not, just like a gap in what I said. I think it's like because my electric meatball is malfunctioning. There's a part where, so this show, they swear up a storm in the episodes, and I don't know how they do this because it's on like whatever, I don't know. But there's an episode where at the big climax scene, Chucky raises his thing and he calls someone an effing something, and it beeps it out, and it's really funny because it's just funny. Like apparently what he said is so bad that they couldn't play it, and I looked it up to see. I was like, was this? And no one can figure it out. Like, I think it was a joke. Yeah. People are like, I'm pretty sure it was a joke that he called this, like, middle schooler or such, something so bad that they couldn't play it when everything else is uncensored. Yeah. So that was kind of funny. And you've got Brad Dourif doing the voice. This show's, 2 years old at this point?
I know, but I keep reading, for the last 2 years, like, Chucky TV show, if you're sleeping on it, you're a moron.
Good. Right.
Yeah. It's like, well.
And all the episodes are like 45 minutes long. So I watch what I think is a whole episode and I'll pause it and it's 15 minutes in. But I do want to find out what happens to the main character.
Chucky.
Is he going to become Chucky? Because Chucky's like, you got to start killing some people. And then we learn a little of Chucky's, the serial killer inside Chucky. We learn about his infamous backstory. And it's like, okay, this is the backstory we always wanted to know, but we're too scared to ask.
Yeah.
So that played. What else? You got anything else? This is the last episode of our show, so I think we should go out on a bong. Sorry, my electric meatballs just hasn't been the same since.
I'm gonna beat you until you're red.
Why? Because I don't like Chucky. I said I do. I'm giving it a chance. I've watched 3 episodes. There's a lot of other stuff I could be doing.
Shut up.
We have a whole TV show to make.
We
My
watched
boss is wondering where I'm
season
at.
4 of You.
Me what? Worry? Make it look so I don't have a tooth. Me what? Worry?
We watched it and it was fine.
You watched it?
I don't know. There's not much to say. It's fine. You run out of stuff. You know, it's one of these shows where you keep every season you have to ratchet up the tension and stuff.
What
And,
season is this?
4.
I read an article or just some stuff people were saying about how shows should only have 4 seasons. Mm-hmm. I think they should only have 3.
3 would have probably been good.
Because they said there's no way you can get past 4 seasons and still have a story to tell, which I agree. But I think 3.
For some, I don't know.
Andor's only going to have 2, and I'm mourning the day that day come.
I don't know. Sometimes I guess maybe it's different for like sitcoms. Sitcoms you can do forever.
No, I want to. Sheldon can do
Yes.
There's so much he can do, right?
Of course.
He could win a Nobel Peace Prize. He can accidentally swallow the Nobel Peace Prize. He can say that the Nobel Peace Prize is like off center, and so he goes to a trophy person to get it fixed, and they accidentally break it. So then they make him a new one. He's like, "This is not my friggin' Nobel Peace Prize."
Yeah.
You know,
His girlfriend weirdly makes him be sexually intimate with her or something.
yeah, it kind of forces. I'm not talking about sitcoms or comedy shows where you can just go. You can the audience loves it. They love
think
the
that's
dynamic
in the
between
show.
the characters. I'm sort of talking about shows where there's a set
It's
narrative.
just weird. I don't know. It's not very funny.
And just the idea.
Forcing someone to, I don't know.
The idea has already been done. The idea for our show is,
Yeah. Ideally, you would want just 3 perfect seasons of Woody Harrelson doing what he does best.
right.
But a lot of these things, they go on and on and on.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I'll take as many seasons of that scene of True Detective.
Yeah, that's the thing with acting like that. If that scene was just let's explore that more. Okay.
But I don't know. Yeah, it's just I don't think they really have a story to tell on You. I think basically the first season was it. And then everyone loved it. So we can keep doing this. And they're like, yeah. So you just amp it up. And at this point, it's there's the kind of the twist of the season is just it would have been better to not do that. The premise is that someone is youing him. Because he's kind of the stalker serial killer guy.
So there's another one of him.
Yeah.
Someone doing the same thing.
Someone's setting him up
that found him.
in a way that he would normally be setting someone, which is kind of interesting. So you're like, oh. And no spoilers, but the resolution is kind of lackluster, in my opinion. But there could be another season. I mean, who knows?
God, not us.
Certainly not.
I mean, look at us. We don't even. You're not even listening to this whole episode. We're not going to tell you how to run a show.
I did bring this
Yeah.
just to try something.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
I did finish Tenet.
Oh, good. Finally.
They took it off of HBO Max at some point, and I was about halfway through.
Yeah.
And so for about a month, I couldn't find it, and I was like, I'm not going to rent it. Haven't really liked it so far.
Sure.
And I'm halfway through. And then one day I just was on there and it was back. I don't know what happened. Warner Bros. Forgot to pay a bill. So I finished it. Didn't really like it. Kind of thought about it and go, I think I do. And then I watched a YouTube video, and I typically don't do this. I don't give Creed. I don't let Creed from The Office, who has a YouTube channel tell me what to like and what to not like.
Hey, he's coming to Iowa.
Doing songs.
Yeah.
Aren't you just kind of asking for people to be yelling, Creed,
Yeah.
do the chili thing?
What else? What else is he gonna do?
That's what I don't. I feel. And Rainn Wilson's coming here too.
He is.
And he's reading from his book about
The Office
philosophy.
Oh, great. Yeah. No, we want the guy who played Dwight telling us how to
we
live
saw
our
what he
life.
saw on Twitter about that episode of Last of Us.
We saw what he saw on Twitter.
And now he's coming here to tell us about kind of meditation and stuff.
Yeah, great.
I don't need these Hollywood kind of liberal elites coming here and telling me how I can make my life better. Oh, because you're a zillionaire? Because you did because like Rainn Wilson, who was in the famous chili scene.
Yeah.
You're making $1 zillion now on Cameo. Every time I go on Cameo, it's like Rainn Wilson. He's like, hey, guys, don't forget your chili, and I hope Jeff has a great birthday. Cha-ching. So you're going to come here and tell me actually meditation can help. You know what could help me? $1 million. You know what could really help me? If I could pay for a vacation, if I go to Disneyland for the 100th anniversary and not be in debt because of it. If I could stop watching the documentaries about how big the Disney cruise is and I go sit my fat ass on the boat, ride down a slide that's going on a boat. The boat's moving, I'm moving. So I'm moving faster than the boat theoretically. When you walk forward on a plane, are you going faster than the plane? If I had $1 million, I could probably figure that out. Creed. Here's my creed to you. Creed 3. Two meatballs, not of the electric kind. 2 meatballs, ham-fisting it out, and I'm sitting there going, humana, 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 humana. Sweaty, big, tough. Oh. And now they both want to keep doing movies together. Great.
Do you think we should get a Rainn Wilson cameo for a certain friend of yours who is going to jail tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Donald Trump Jr., just wanted to say sorry about what's about to happen, but at least you'll have some chili. Toilet chili.
Bye.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.